coming to you live, and this is the focus group. Welcome to today's edition. This is my camera. Welcome to today's edition. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd day of February. The year is 2022. Na leo hashtag yetu ni Wednesday magezzetini. Karibu sana popote pale ulipo. Join us by liking and following us on our social media handles on Facebook. You can find us on Tuku and Sharon Paul SP, and YouTube. You'll find us on Sharon Paul Media and Tuku. Today being Wednesday, and the show that we bring to you is uchambuzi wa magazeti. Kidogo tu tutapitia like 3 to 4 topics so that we can get an in-depth stories of what's really happening around us.
Yes sir.
Karibu sana katika show leo.
Asante sana.
Na kama kawa tunasema karibuni nyote popote pale. Before we came live, we were having a discussion on previously. We heard that the country was trying to bring a duty-free importation. The government was trying to bring in duty-free importation of goods. Now, the topic that we have is cheaper food on the way as a state allows duty-free importation. Mr. Tuku.
Yes.
Kina nani hao ambao wanaenda kukubaliwa? Vyakula hivi ambavyo havitozwi ushuru. Sijui kama director ameweza kupata hiyo pull out.
Yes, Bwana Sharon. How are you doing?
I'm very well.
You're very good.
And tupo ndani.
Uko ndani?
Yeah, the focus group.
Yes. Before we indulge in this, yesterday kuna mtu alijaribu kutuweka on task. We'll come back to that.
I remember.
Yes, now, nona Bwana Sharon umeniuliza swali. This free importation of chakula into this country. But you know, when the HE, the president, was campaigning, he said, even after campaign, that is when after they got into office, he said that they're going to scrap out subsidies. So I think we have some hiccups kidogo. There's another post that is coming up, not the one we are discussing right now. The one we're discussing right now is on
duty-free importation.
Yes. The cover of one of our dailies.
Yeah, I think we're trying to get it, and maybe the next few seconds, the director should be bringing it up.
Yes, my apologies for that. Wananchi, thank you for indulging us in this very hiccups that you're getting in studio this afternoon. My apologies, but I think our engineer is coming up, bringing that up. So now, the question you posed was, who is going to get these jobs of bringing food into this country?
Yeah. Now, and, considering that this is what the government was trying to fight by kutoa ile mambo ya subsidy.
Exactly. You see, the president promised us that the reason why the subsidies were scrapped out and he started issuing out fertilizers is to enable this country to be a self-producing country. So basically, there was no point of bringing in stuff from outside to this country. We needed to produce our own. But this morning I went to the dailies and I saw the post whereby the food is already on the way. And this is duty-free. What do you call it? Duty-free
importation.
Importations. So to my worry is, you see, already we have people who bring in food into this country.
Yeah.
And we call them the dynasties. You see?
I think this is what the current government was trying to fight.
Yes.
So that they could bring down the dynasty,
Exactly.
the hustlers to thrive in running the government and getting the biggest pie of the cake.
Okay. And this is my worry right now. Once we import these foods, because right now there are people who are importing food already. Once you give them the free pass for duty free now, I'm quite worried. These people are going to flood this country with the outside produces and other stuff. And the producers and the manufacturers in this country are worried because if you're going to bring food that is on tax subsidy, then how are we supposed to compete with that? Because you see, in this country, the problem that is there is the cost of production. It is too high. So
from the level of tilling the land to fertilizing.
Exactly. Even for the manufacturers themselves, the cost of production is very high. So when you have to compete with people that are bringing in produces, products from maybe China on pennies, and they are bringing these things into this country, then it gets very hard for them. There goes the one of the dailies.
Oh yeah, it's good now. Thank you.
But on the top there, you can see cheaper food on the way as state allows duty-free imports. Now, our CS, our very own comic like CS, Mr. Moses Kuria, he told the Kenya Association of Manufacturers that he's going to change the name to Kenya Association of Importers. Because if people import more than they produce in this country, and
they are not an association of manufacturers, but now they are an association of importers.
And he threatened that he's going to change the name to KEAI instead of KAM.
Kenya Association
of Manufacturers, as it is right now.
It's right now, yes, but he wants to change it to Kenya Association of Importers. Because we import more than we manufacture, than we produce.
Yes. It was a light threat from our very own, very humorous CS.
Yeah, and actually, as we were trying to bring the pull-out on our screen, the question that was coming up is the government scrapped off the subsidies in order to promote the local production.
Exactly.
And now here we're being told that cheaper food is on the way, and these have been allowed by the state. Duty free.
You see, Bonataron, the question you're posing has a lot of weight in so many ways. First of all, I'm going to look at it politically. You hardened people's life on the promise that you're going to strengthen their production. You hardened people's life by scrapping subsidies in the promise and the hope of we're going to have a better one. You see, there are already manufacturers in this country. There are already producers in this country.
Many of them.
So when you have to import and they have to struggle competing with low prices, because if you go to China, and China is producing some things with technologies you've never seen.
Yeah, they always have mass production with very cheap labor.
Exactly. So if you have a product that normally costs around 10 shillings in Kenya, and China is producing it with pennies on the shilling, maybe it's coming into this country with 2 shillings. So the person who imported duty-free is legally obliged to sell it at a lower price to at least lower these prices that are going that are skyrocketing right now. So when our own manufacturers have to compete with that, it gets very difficult.
Yeah, and I think I remember just before we came on air, you were given an example of a commodity that has been imported from a foreign country.
Yes.
When it comes to Kenya, it will be retailing at let me say at around 2 shillings.
Exactly.
Per item.
Exactly.
And then we have the same commodity that has been produced, manufactured here in Kenya. For these manufacturers and producers to have a profit margin of now getting the profits and making sure they also comply to paying the tax. They want to sell this thing this same commodity at 10 shillings. Hata kama ni wewe ni hustler. Najua wewe nini you invested, walikuwa nasema
I'm a shareholder.
You are a shareholder.
Yes. I'm a shareholder.
Wewe ni shareholder. Hata kama wewe ni shareholder. Now you're going to the supermarket. I'm a shareholder, but a minority shareholder.
Not even a minority. You have to wait for us to.
Mimi nangoja mvune. Ukishavuna ile tabaki. The remaining samples ya chakula pale chini inakuanga tamu zaidi. Manake nyuma ukimbilia top layer kule ni mafuta tu, lakini the real nutrients chakula na pale kwa chini.
Ni wafanye inaonyesha sana nutrients.
Unaona lakini msio. So what I'm bringing to you is the same commodity has been imported and retailing at 2 shillings.
Yes.
The same commodity produced, manufactured, and now being sold locally at 10 shillings. Even if you are a shareholder.
Yes.
Hustler, you're a hustler nation. Utaendea gani?
I will go for the cheaper commodity.
Exactly.
But you see, we have very cunning people in this country. There are people who are going to get duty-free importation of products into this country. The dynasties now that you are fighting are the only people who can afford to go outside and bring food, but bring products into this country.
Because they have the financial muscles.
Yes. We'll come to that later. So now, when these products, let me not scale it down to food. When these products get into this country, you know, these people who can afford to go outside and bring things into this country are not the retailers. These are the wholesalers. These are the people that are going to distribute to people who are going out to distribute to the consumers. You get?
Yeah, I get.
So you have someone who can afford to bring in 10 containers in this country. Once they get these containers in this country, duty-free. So they bought these products pennies on what they normally buy them for. Then they have a way of getting them into this country without paying any extra amount. So a commodity they were selling at 10 shillings, they should be obliged to sell it for 4 shillings. But they are not going to do that. You know why?
Tell me.
People already know food is skyrocketing right now. So if you're going to bring cooking oil into this country, do you expect me as Duncan to bring food into this country and then sell them for pennies? Well, as I know, I'm going to fetch more. It's only that there's a door that has been opened for me to make more profits.
Most definitely.
Not forgetting, Mr. Sharon, the same people we moved outside, what did you call them? We used to call them what?
The dynasty.
Dynasties, exactly. Are the only people who can afford to go outside
and import
and
in bulk.
Import food.
Yeah, and you just mentioned the oil manufacturers. How about to take there was some unrest by the association that I think governs them. That one, they are going to quit.
Okay.
Because now the playing field is very unfair. Because you see this same avenue of duty-free importation. There is somebody who has been given the leeway to import a lot of petroleum products. Sasa wewe una import, unataka kutujia ulianto kilo 5 at shilingi 500, lakini ambayo amefanya local production hapa 5 liters alikuwa anatuzia shilingi 2500. Wewe utaenda gani? Si 500.
Let me ask you a question, Sharon.
Yes, please.
In this race that we started, called the have and the have-nots, that is the dynasties and the hustlers.
Yeah.
The only person who's going to win is the dynasty. Trust me.
Most definitely, because they have the financial muscle.
The people we pushed out in the name of dynasty are the people who own these factories. Let's put in examples the cooking oil, the petroleum products now. The Akina cooking oil. These are the only people who can afford to set up factories. You understand?
Yeah, I get you.
These are the only people who can afford to go outside and import in masses enough. You see, as much as you see there is a duty-free importation, certain people are going to get that job. And the government is going to look at the only people who can afford, with financial muscles, to bring enough products to be distributed to each and every Kenyan. We are 50 plus million people. You understand?
I get you.
So Sharon, who can only afford a liter of liquid oil in his house, na ikiisha lazima iwekwe hivi kwa moto ndio itoe yenye iko chini, will not get that job.
Actually, it's not even the squeezy. Unaenda unapimiwa according to how much you want.
So
we have the dispensers, the oil ATMs, kama ile maziwa ATM.
Yes.
Yeah. So you'll go, not even that you can afford the 1 liter,
yes.
but you'll go like today, nimeshiwa na mafuta, I want to buy a shilingi 200.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was narrowing it down to now that level of a hustler.
Now I was listening to you, collecting data to know where to social class you. Wewe ni C1 hapo chini kidogo. But that's fine. But you get my point. You get my point. So, the dynasties, as we call them, are the only people benefiting right now. They're the only people reaping.
Yeah, because if the playing field has been left open to everybody.
Yes.
Me as SME holder, I have a small enterprise that na tumia kujikimu kimaisha. And then we've been told that now you can import duty free. I don't have the financial capacity to go to easy inches and ngambo,
yes,
to import any commodity to bring and sell even at a wholesale or a retail level. But now the people who are going to take advantage of this, however much we were fighting to bring them out, still the dynasties.
Yes, I was going to cut you short, like I wanted you to finish the statement fast.
With
nobody will offer to give you the opportunity to pay. Leave alone you thinking it can only play in your head.
Now you know. Yes, so, we will be told that duty-free importation is there.
Yes.
And then as the headline goes,
yes,
cheaper food on the way as state allows,
yes,
duty-free importation. Yes, they have allowed. But for you to apply mpaka upatiwe hiyo kandarasi,
you need to be a dynasty. Let's put it in plain.
You need to be a who and who.
Exactly. You see, Sharon, I'll give you an example. Within the social class that we have,
yes,
you will see someone who's maybe capable of importing a few thousand liters. You get?
Yeah.
Someone who's capable of maybe coming up with 10 million Kenya shillings. Nobody will give you a job to bring in products to feed 50 million people if you can only afford 10 million. So the only people who are going to get this job are people with enough financial muscle to feed 50 million people. You get?
Financial resources.
Financial resources. The only people with enough financial capability to do that are people we
term as
exactly
dynasties.
People we pushed outside. So the people who voted in the government on the name of I'm going to benefit,
the shareholders.
Exactly. You're still going to suffer. In this sense, Bwana Sharon, if and in this context, let me involve our retired president, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta. So you voted out. You voted for this government, but between you and the president, the former president, Mr. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, Uhuru has the capability of importing these products to this country to feed the Kenyans. So if the government is going to filter, is going to screen whomever is more capable of feeding the Kenyans now, is going to pick Uhuru over you. You get?
Exactly. Because
so the person who we call the dynasty is going to be rewarded again. You get?
However much they are the ones that we were trying to fight.
Exactly.
To get out of the market.
The second point I'm coming to now, the factories in this country who already produce the oils, sindio? Ama other products, acha tuache kuyeka to the oils only, other products, sindio?
Yeah, we are not targeting anyone.
Yes, we are not targeting anyone. So this product is in this country already. It's been imported. We are talking hypotheticals here.
Yeah.
And once it is in this country, as I said earlier, the person who imported can only import and sell to the wholesalers. They will not be the one to retail to the consumers. You get?
Yeah.
So the only person with the muscles to make sure this product gets to Doldo, to make sure this product gets to the far end of this country, is the only person who normally distributes.
Exactly.
You guess? The dynasties also. Because you as Sharon, labda upatiwe lita moja uingie matatu uende Homa Bay. So there's someone with a load of trucks that can afford to take these products to the far end of this country.
100%.
You get? So the only people who are going to benefit in this endeavor are the people we call the dynasty. So there is no way around that any hustler. The hustler will only consume that whatever will be brought.
And to bring you again to the same topic, there's a soundbite that I came across. Let me try to listen and get to hear what this guy. He was featured some time back during elections. He's a very staunch supporter of His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto.
Mr. Cosmos.
Yeah, Mr. Cosmos. You know him. I think he's in the US.
we are the GOTY team, so we know each other.
So I think he was arguing, just as we are basing our argument as well. However much this duty-free importation is going to take place, it is still not the hustlers. The hustlerization who are going to benefit. It is the who's and the who's, as you call them, the haves who are going to benefit. Let me try and see if we can get him.
Hata kukushinda miaka. Hapana. Mahasoras. Watu. Kulisako kwa se hata kukushinda miaka. Hapana.
Maybe you started from from the top, so we can listen.
Hapa nje mahasoras hawasikii vizuri na wewe.
Yeah, actually that's what I want.
Mtu asikutanganye. Ninapata inbox kama 1,000. Kwa mtandao hapa vitu vimenuka. Mahasoras sana kutukianzia Nyamutio kama mawakala nchini. Wale vijana ambao walisaidia wewe kabisa kwa mtandao. Wengi wamemaliza university. Wanasikia uchungu sana.
What this gentleman is trying to bring forth is the young boys and girls who really fought for this government, the keyboard warriors who are there, really supporting during campaign and the election period time, who really wanted the government to come into shape, and it finally came into shape. Are they benefiting from this duty-free importation that the government has put in place? The soundbite is quite long. Out of trim, but that is the little track that I wanted us to get. The hustlers, anasema hataki kudanganya rais wanaumia.
Let me make a request. Do that soundbite again for the last time. Just do that soundbite again. Just that section yenye umeplay.
The President of the Republic of Kenya.
Yes.
My president, my choice. Mtukufu Rais, mimi kama rafiki yako ninataka kukuambia ukweli kabisa kutoka kwa roho yangu. Hapa nje mahasoras hawasikii vizuri na wewe. Mtu asikutanganye. Ninapata inbox kama 1,000. Kwa mtandao hapa vitu vimenuka. Mahasoras sana kutukianzia Nyamutio kama mawakala nchini. Wale vijana ambao walisaidia wewe kabisa kwa mtandao.
So now, Bona Sharon.
Yes, please.
As I was explaining earlier, and it is good you went all the way to the United States to bring me back up. Now, as I was trying to explain earlier, that it is not that anything wrong is happening. It is only that the approach that was the approach that this government came with, and what is happening right now, are two very contrary things. We have a parallel perception with what is going on, and that is the hustlers and the government now.
Yeah,
because you see, if you're going to import stuff and you told us, please let us work on our production so we can later enjoy it. You get?
Yes.
Hustlers were willing to walk the mile with you and feel the pain. You get? But when you get to a point where you're going to import this product, then the hustlers now are wondering, are we still reading from the same page? Because you in State House are okay. You're not feeling any pinch. We are the people who decided to take the sacrifice and
invest.
And invest.
Shareholders.
Yes, me as a shareholder. And invest. And we decided and said and told the president, we are okay. We'll take the fertilizer. We are not going to, you scrap the subsidies, there is no issue. You get? We're going to feel the pinch, but we're going to work on this thing to see it through to the end. You get? So now, when you get to have double standards and somewhere along the way you see and feel that we need to reward the same businesses that we pushed out and bring in products from outside, well, we have our own manufacturers in this country whom we should be working on. The same way you distributed fertilizers. It is the same way you should be innovative enough. You get?
Yeah.
Something people fail to understand is that no government is wiser than the rest of the people. It is only that we choose to put you there to lead us and come up with policies and ideas to govern us. You get? So when you have to import products from outside country, they're going to feed us for 20 days, improving China, improving Turkey, improving wherever else these foods are going to come from. Because now in China, if they are going to produce 1 kg that is consumed in China, but now they need to feed another country called Kenya with 50 million people. People are going to get employment in China because produce needs to be produced double what they were producing earlier.
For their local consumption exportation.
And for export to this country called Kenya with 50 million people. You get?
And we eat.
So employment that was at 20% in China is going to skyrocket to 70%. Employment that was here in Kenya in oil manufacturing companies is going to scale down to 0%, because me as an employer, I do not see the need of manufacturing oil that is going to cost 100 shillings, and there's oil that is going to come to this country at 10 shillings. You get?
Yeah.
So basically, what is going to happen, employment is going to deteriorate in Kenya. Employment is going to flourish from wherever else this product is coming from. And I can bet China is going to be one of those countries.
Yes, it has. Sorry, it has been, because now, just as you're putting it, for them to double up the production levels to feed their country, because they know their level of consumption, and then to get a surplus that they now be sending to African countries, Kenya included, and now that we have duty-free importation, the labor has to go up.
Manpower is needed.
And the manpower has to go up so that they can meet the threshold of doing the production. Meaning they are double benefiting by sending these products to Kenya. And we who have our local producers and our local manufacturers are suffering more.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, please.
Excuse me. My apologies. Someone is commenting here and saying, maybe we got it wrong. When jobs were promised to us, we should have asked where the jobs were going to be created. Maybe the jobs were going to be created in China.
We never asked where these jobs are going to be created.
The government is in the right. They promised jobs.
And the jobs are being created.
And jobs are being created.
It is just that the jobs are not being created back here at home. What a pity.
Yeah.
Now, to the same effect, I'd like us to have a different twist on the same story, because what we are still going to touch on a little bit is still about the economic status of the country. Okay. And I'd request Mr. Director, if you can get the second pull up, ndani ya Wednesday magezzetini, as the director is trying to give us that. I'd still request that keep following us on our social media handles, Facebook, Sharon Paul SP, Tukumita Tuku, and on YouTube, Sharon Paul Media, as well as Thuku, Muita, Thuku. There's that flyer that we threw on the screen the other day. The Lipa na M-Pesa number. Somebody asked me, a friend asked me, hey, we are paying for watching you people. I laughed, but yes, by the time we are coming on air, maybe hakutupata from the beginning, because we brought it forth since we engage a lot with a lot of our viewers. And as we try also to reach out to many of the people that we're trying to pitch to come on board, this is one of the requests that was brought forth, that we can have a payment portal where anybody who likes to support the show can chip in and share whatever they have. So addressing my very good friend from Siaya, let me not mention the name, this is an avenue of helping us to make things better here in Daniel's studio, and just supporting the focus group to grow. And now going back to the story.
Yes.
I can see my directors brought it up. Eric Omondi was arrested yesterday. And the reason was he was leading a group of young men in protesting against the high cost of living. It's true. The cost of living has skyrocketed. Mambo yameenda juu kabisa. In your area unanunua unga kg pesa ngapi?
I think it is, ninakumbuka kweli.
You don't do it.
Iko 200 na kitu.
Au nini? Au ndangi sokoni. And now, just to bring it in a nutshell, Eric Omondi's plea was the government to try and bring down mambo na bei ya unga, and still commenting on mambos to do with the economic status of the country, the taxes. The cost of living is skyrocketing. Now, even Millers the other day announced that we brace ourselves for higher costs of the very basic commodity.
Exactly.
Unga.
Now, I was watching Eric Omondi. I actually watched him throughout the whole process. It is only that Eric Omondi has a humor that is not, it is not relatable to many. But on this particular issue, you need to understand where Eric Omondi is coming from.
Yeah.
Much as people are saying he's in business doing this, what you do not understand, you remember the post I told you to read?
Yeah.
Where when you're in search of, you also need to enjoy here.
Yeah. When you're in search of the heavens,
yes,
just make sure you also enjoy it down here.
Yes,
on earth.
Exactly. So not everybody will have the guts to do what Eric Omondi did. So if he makes a bit of cash out of it, well and good. It is his pay for the day. You understand?
I can see also somebody asking that kwani Eric Omondi anachase clout ama ni vipi?
He does not care. It does not matter if he's chasing cloud or not. You see, the people who are giving him content is the government.
Yeah.
If the government was trying hard enough to do their work, then Eric Omondi wouldn't have content. He would be stripping or wearing women's clothes or something else like he normally does. But now he's getting content out of what the government is feeding him. Because Eric Omondi is probably looking, and probably that morning didn't have money for bread and decided to go to parliament because he's there. So I'm not saying he didn't have money for bread, but I'm saying the government is giving him content.
Hypothetically.
Government is giving him content. You get?
Yeah.
So if the price of unga was 70 shillings, Eric Omondi would be doing something else. He wouldn't be doing this particular thing. But you see, it is people like Eric Omondi, and whatever their means, their end is, we do not care. But what they are doing is what we care about. You get? Because whatever Eric Omondi did yesterday, another few people will want to do it again. You know why?
In a different way. To send the very same message.
The very same message. And there's a comment I made juicy, and I told you. There was a cartoon in one of the dailies whereby the Honorable Mr. Raila Odinga is under this vehicle at a garage and wondering, mbona hii gari ya maandamano haifanyi kazi venye inafanyaga.
Vile inafaa kufanya.
What did I tell you? I told you, give it time. If this trend that is there continues, hii gari itakuja ikiwa V8. You understand? Itakuja ikiwa so powerful. You get? So, what we saw yesterday with Eric Omondi is one aspect of what we are likely to be seeing in the coming years. If what the millers are saying that we should embrace ourselves for harder times, we should also embrace ourselves for disruptions in town. Whatever we saw yesterday. I'm sure 2-3 people, when you will have people, men avoiding to get into their homes because they did not leave enough money for supper, then they have to mobilize in groups. Mahali hapo kwa vijiji. That is where people think, hey, maybe we should be joining Raila in these demonstrations. You get?
Yeah.
That is how this vehicle is going to get powerful.
Yeah, and actually, as we talk, there is a prayer session and Azimio session that is going on currently at G1G. I doubt they can have a pull out of that, but yeah, those are some of the reasons why even the Azimio fraternity is there. Imefika pale ambapo sasa pia wamesema acha tujaribu na maombi, because now maandamano bila maombi, at least let's take things before the heavenly body so that we can see whether this thing will come down. But for Eric Omondi,
yes,
he was very clear.
Let me just say this.
He knew what he was doing. Let me just finish. I got an extract about whatever happened yesterday. The group was dispersed by police. That was a little bit later with the tear gas as they attempted to storm the parliament. Even if they could have been given more time, how far can they go to pass this information? Wangeweza kupatiwa. Yesterday there was a parliamentary sitting.
Yeah, that is why they were asking for the Speaker of Parliament, Mr.
Wetangula.
Yes.
But how far could they have gone by trying to push this to the government?
You see, something very disgusting happened yesterday when I was watching Eric Omondi. And I thought Eric Omondi was disgusting. He's not. One of the honorable members, Osoro, passed by, and he did not come out of the vehicle. Some of the group members tried to call him out, but he looked at outside with this critic and said, "Oh, ninaona, munangangana." You get the comment. I don't think this is not a laughing matter, Bernard Sharon. I do not think you see the extent of insult that is in that statement. I do not understand. You don't see the extent of insult that
and
is
by that time
in
is
that statement.
inside a vehicle that it is we who pay for.
Yes.
The taxpayers' money.
Yes.
Fueling it.
Going into that parliament. The whole purpose of that parliament is to discuss our issues. You get? So I do not understand why, if Eric Omondi was asking for police, he was asking for the Speaker of Parliament, I get it was not the right way for Eric Omondi to have approached this thing.
But you know, with our government, even with the previous governments, and that's why we've always had the opposition. There is no way you'll go and sit with the government in a very decorum way, in a lavish place that tunaomba mutushushie bei ya unga.
Yes.
But these people have to be pushed.
No,
and the pinch has to come from the people who are making noise in the streets, so that the government can take action.
This is what I'm saying as a shareholder. This is what I'm
Please
saying.
don't rub it so much on my face.
This is what I'm saying. Let us not have double standards. What Eric Omondi did, was not in the best of the versions of the styles to do it.
But
but it was the only way to do it.
The message was passed.
Yeah, the message was passed. This is what we should be saying is what the channel Eric Omondi used. It is not the right channel.
However,
it was the only available option
as at yesterday.
You get? So what I was trying to say is, much as they put Eric Omondi in the cells yesterday, they should have asked themselves, we've stopped this Eric Omondi now. But Eric Omondi was a key to a very dangerous door. Someone somewhere now saw, if this thing Eric Omondi can do it, Mr. Lala Njatena. People will start reacting in other ways.
Following what Eric Omondi did yesterday. Yeah.
And there's a saying that says, the most dangerous people are not the doers, are not the evil doers. It is people who watch evil getting done. Those are the most dangerous people. That is me and you.
Which book are you currently reading?
No, there's a saying. I'm trying. I don't know if it is by Malcolm.
I get you.
I think it is Malcolm. It is. It's either Malcolm or I do not remember. I think it is either Malcolm or Karl Marx.
Karl Marx.
Or one of them did say that. People who sit on the sidelines and watch, those are the most evil people. You see, there were people who were watching Eric doing what he was doing. Sindio? Wakiwa mbali sana. Wakichukua video. Wakiwa mbali sana. Wengine hata sio video, wameangalia tu.
Wako tu
wameangalia tu. But these people are the same people who will have to go home and watch their kid and just wonder, mtoto nitampatia chakula ya nini? But you do not understand what Eric Omondi was doing was for your child whom he has no idea exists. You get? I do not condone what Eric Omondi did. It is not of the best way to do it, but it was the only way to do it by then. He did not cause chaos. He did not do anything. The chaos were caused actually by the tear gas we saw.
Alichagua wanaume ambao wamepiga
chuma. Nilikuwa naona
vifua
our boys in blues.
Sasa hawa wanatoa ugali wapi ili
nilikuwa naona wakiongea hivi. Jamani sitonge.
Msifanye tutumie vitu wa machozi. Because wale ni watu wenye unajaribu kupiga rungu bana na kuangalia.
So there's one point. I think we're going to look for that conversation. We're going to look for that clip. So when they got to the gate, this policeman when walikuja in plain clothes. Kuja na fujo hii. So wakaenda kushika one of the guys.
Hakujua ni polisi.
I think akasikia hiyo zito. Akarudi nyuma akaita
reinforcement.
So there's a question you ask. Where are these men getting all this unga?
Yeah, because if you see them, but they are very built, wako afya mzuri.
Sindio?
Na ndio pia wamekuja kupiga kelele manake they had the placards. Stima juu, maji juu, unga juu, tax juu, everything is juu.
But then you see this kind of communication is very clear because they are saying this is what you are fighting for. Stima iko juu. And there is one comment you told me one of the CS has made. A very reckless comment.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for it. Actually, it's
some of the comments you hear people making, and you have people in these homes, Bona SP, let me tell you. You have people in these homes, even in the shareholders' homes, people who are suffering, people who are really suffering, Mr. Sharon. People who have no food to eat. People who do not know where the next meal is coming from. So when you hear some of these comments from these politicians, it really gets to you. And that is why you're going to see most of these tabias like Eric Omondi. It is going to come to the increase. Because people are wondering if you as a CS can talk like this. Na mimi ndio nilitokea na fujo ni kuchague uingie. Ukaniambia niondoe dynasty alafu wewe sasa ndio una act more out of behavior even more than the dynasty now. You get?
I get you. Because you know what is currently happening is it's like a bottle that is under a lot of pressure.
Yes.
Now, whatever the content in this bottle really wants to come out, but hakuna tu vile the content can come out. What Eric Omondi did was just that pinhole, pilot hole.
Ni kudunga tu alidunga. Inatoka tu
pole, lakini itafika mahali
itapomoka kabisa sasa.
Italipuka zaidi.
Yes.
And just before I forget, though, I can't paraphrase it as exact as he placed it, but he was on one of the media houses the other night. Akasema, I mean, if you can load your telephone for 1,000 shillings, unapiga simu vizuri sana. Mbona usilipe stima ya 1,000 bob? Mbona ukiona stima imepanda juu unapiga kelele? So I was trying to see, because there are those very basic commodities that we must have in our homes. Stima, maji. Unaona? And they shouldn't being basic, they shouldn't really cost us that much.
Yes.
And it is our constitutional right, our basic right, to have these things accessible to us at a times nil amount.
Exactly.
But sasa bwana siasa kwa nasema kama unaweza weka credit ya 1,000 bob unapiga simu, bwana usilipe stima 1,000. I think to my own thoughts and opinion, it was a bit out of context.
Not a bit. It was way out of...
Way out of context.
Not even out of context. Way out of good behavior. You get it? Way out of speaking to a hustler. Because now, I see now the people we fought for as our hustlers, now they've crossed over to the other direction.
They have forgotten.
They have not forgotten. They just... maybe waliingia kwa mafuta wakasikia ikiwa tamu kidogo. Akasema watu wacha wakula kule kashida.
Yeah, ukionja top. Yes. Way back in high school tulikuwa naita topola. Ukionja top bana.
Someone is telling me vile ulisema bwana the Honorable Raila ameamua kujaribu maombi na demonstration. Sio maombi, anatafuta mvua ndio ile tia gasisi kule sana.
Wachane na baba bana. Baba is the official opposition leader, so he'll do anything to keep this government in check, you see. Check. Yeah, because sasa pia aliona kila kitu hao watu wanafanya ni maombi. Kuna song inaenda ni maombi nani Nidia anaitwa nani Mukami alimba song fulani hapo ni maombi tu, kila kitu ni maombi tu. Kumbe unajua hizo ngoma. So pia wameona kidogo wamepiga ni the rallies pale Jacaranda, wakarudi nilikuwa Jacaranda na wapi kule Kamkunji wakaenda Kisii, Nyamira.
Yes.
Kidogo wakaingia maeneo ya Gatuzi la Homa Bay. Sasa wamerudi jijini.
Yes.
And kama maombi inaweza saidia hii mambo, mbona nasi pia tusiende chini katika magoti yetu tuweze kufanya sala mambo yabadilike. But still on maombi, this is on a light note, but it was outside there. Niliona kama Sonko anasema kama the chosen prophet of God, prophet of word, anataka kueleza watu ya kwamba ni ukweli anaponya vilema na wagonjwa. Akumbuke anaitwa nani yule ambaye alikuwa aliteuliwa katika bunge la Sankok. This thing is deep. Tunaweza iangalia tu hivyo, but it is deep.
It's a sword that can cut you very deep on both sides.
On both sides. Yeah. So unajua hii sword ambayo inakata on both sides, it's pricking you as it goes at the tip and at the edges. That's the story for another day. Unaweza nimalizia hiyo story ya Eric Omondi tuingie katika I think the very last topic before we call it a day.
This is what I'm going to say. Eric Omondi, as much as if this is content he's creating, please continue creating it. This is content that Eric Omondi should stick to. This is the content we want to see. He can also do the cross-dressing also, if he's going to do it. But I would urge him, the cross-dressing and the other stuff he does, he can do them at night. Please do this in the daytime. Make this your day job. It is, I'm not saying the style was good, but was a very good job. Because people are really suffering out there. But also, we also need to look at the government. There's something Natembeya advised the president when he was at, I think, Nakuru, at a church service. Please, the president, do not let the people around you shield you from your people.
Yeah.
You get?
Wasikuzuie kupata yale
iko kunje.
Kweli ambayo iko.
Because we get it, the president is a state property. The president will not come to Githurai. The president will not come to diaspora where you live to look at your living conditions. But people he has tasked to do this are the people who are saying, kama unaweza nunua ya time ya 1,000. And these are people we are expecting to go back and advise the president. So what you should expect, it's something very, not so good ama rotten, for lack of better words, as you say, to come out of whatever advice that is going to be there. You get? Because the same way they're going to tell the president, and mind you, the person who made that comment is the person who is the boss of seeing these products coming from outside into this country.
Yeah.
You get? And it is the same person.
The duty-free importation.
Yes, it is the same person who's going to, that belongs in his docket. Not seeing the people who are in the thicker industrial area, which employs a lot of people.
Thousands and thousands of Kenyans.
Our industrial area up in Nairobi. I think that maybe at 70% of people in Eastlands work in that industrial area. You get? So if that person who owns a factory in the industrial area is going to look at the amount of stock that is going to come from China and the amount it is going to go for, unafikiria ata produce kitu ingine?
Hapo ndisa atasema
hata produce kitu ingine.
Atambia tu wafanyakazi wake, we sincerely apologize, we have to
lay you off.
Yeah.
Sindio?
Yeah.
Mtu alikuwa na walk from industrial area to moja, haezi walk because there is someone else hana kazi na lazima mgawane yenye umepata. So lazima akungoje hapo mbele akuitishe chenye uko na mgawane politely. You get? We are all hustlers. So umetoka kuhustle.
Pia akiona the polite way cannot come,
itabidi sasa akwambie kitu ingine. Because now
toa ulichonacho ama
mwenye aliimport from China akona gari V8 ikona mbio na akona chase car mbele na nyuma. So haezi muambia tugawane. Lakini wewe umetoka kutengeneza 300 yako ama 100 yako industrial area.
Ameshindwa kupata.
Na mimi niliambiwa nisikuje kazi kesho. We only need 2 people in this company. Bro, tutagawana hiyo yenye umetoka kuchukua. Najua unalipagwa cash. Ndio ule mwenye factory avoid tax. Ninajua uko nayo kwa mfuko.
Lazima
tutagawana tu. You get?
Yeah.
So now these things are going to bring about insecurity. They are going to bring about a lot of infidelity, because Sharon, you can't feed your children. Then your spouse is going to look it for somewhere else, and you cannot blame them. But it is what it is.
It's a man society. So zile anaona kama hapa msaidii,
lazima avuke mahali ingine.
Now as we let me just cut you short because I can see
that's fine.
Time is on our neck. We will just touch slightly on this. Still there ndani ya magezzetini, our top principles, offices budgets have really increased. I was trying to look at the figures, but I really needed to authenticate this before we could bring this on air. But I could read from very many sources. The figures are not really coming out consistently. But we have the 3 top principles: the president, his deputy, and the chief Msalia's officer. Yeah.
PCS.
Sasa tena tulikuwa tunasema hakuna pesa, lakini budget za ku run the offices has doubled
from what it was before. Even in Gachagwa's office.
The top 3 principles.
No, I'm specifically looking at that office because the deputy president is on record saying the country has no money.
Yeah, and they cannot do
anything.
There are some state functions that cannot happen because they don't have money. Yeah, and I think, though I did get it right, I can look for it. Even his office, budget has doubled.
Okay.
What say you?
I think I'm going to pose a question for people to digest. Maybe it is the hustlers' money that is not around, that is not available. There is money, there's just no money for the hustlers. I do not know. I'm asking. It's a question I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kumaanisha kuna pesa ya kukimbiza biashara za serikali.
Yes.
Lakini pesa ya kufikisha chini kwa hustlers nation ndio hakuna.
Hakuna.
They came up with the hustlers fund.
Yes. But iko. And to be fair, even the non-shareholders like you got the hustler fund. See,
why must you keep reminding me I'm not a shareholder?
But you give the president. What do you call Panya?
Oh yeah, yo. We are loyal to.
You give the president Oyeyo, and you see, but you got the same. What do you call it? Hustler fund limit as me. We are being fair.
But even if they were trying to look at the limits, they weren't looking at now. This is Otieno Onyango who is applying for this hustler fund, or Njoroge Maina who is looking for this hustler fund. They are looking at your financial. It's called what? Your credits. Your credit. How do you call it?
Record, I'm a score.
Yeah, your credit score. Yes. Yeah, I wanted that. They're looking at your credit score. For you to get the hustler fund, the inflow and outflow of cash that you have. Huyu pesa ngapi inaingia, ina retain, ngapi inatoka. So for me and you to be given the same credit limit ndani ya hustler fund, tuko same social class bana.
Maybe yangu inapanda. You never know.
Unless sasa tuambiwe tu register majina yetu, majina ya wazazi.
Bas.
Unajua ukiandika hapo tuko umuita bwana na mimi nikuja na Otieno Onyango.
Non-shareholder.
Na bwana non-shareholder. Hapa watasema huyu akule nje.
Cash worker.
Na hivyo tu ndio takuwa ni macho nje.
I was talking to someone from Homa Bay last night, and he told me, bwana, hii Kenya sisi na shareholders tulipagwa kila jioni. Hakuna ama Saturday. Hakuna kasho leo bara ulipoa.
Pesa imepotea kupotea.
Yulipoa mwisho wa mwezi ama anangoja dividends. Kasho laborers wanalipagwa kila jioni. Unamalizana. So pesa yetu ikujaga kila jioni tunamalizana.
But you see how much we are trying to look at the financial situation, the economic the economic status of the country.
Yes.
Pesa hakuna, tunaambiwa pesa kuna the living standards are going so high.
Yes.
But now when you look at how the president, his deputy, and Musali's office are being run,
yes,
the money is there in terms of millions toward billions.
Exactly.
Wanasema the operation costs have gone high.
Okay.
Pesa iko lakini umesema haitiririki chini.
No, it's a question I posed.
Yeah,
is there money or is there money? Do they mean there is no money for hustlers? Because money is there, obviously. We can see it being spent in some of the functions. Is it just that there is no money for the hustlers? As we go to the prayers and wrap this up.
As we go to the prayers and we wrap up, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for keeping us company. We would like to reach out. Nimeona hapo tulikuwa na Millicent Biwot all the way from Kabartonjo. Chambege Missing, ulisema tutuletea mursik lakini sijiona kama imefika. And kama kawaida, our usual culprits, we can't forget mentioning your names. Bwana Felix Mondi, popote pale ulipo tunasema shukran sana. All our followers both on Facebook and YouTube. Pale YouTube ni Sharon Paul Media, Tuku Mbita Tuku, and on Facebook it is Sharon Paul SP and Tuku Mbita Tuku. Please continue being part of the family as we grow. Subscribe, follow, leave a comment there so that we can know the best avenue we can take with this show as we try to plunge into better and more engaging discussions. And hapo pia hiyo flyer iko hapo ya lipa na M-Pesa, si ati nini mnalipa kwa kututazama, hapana. That one was a special request from a few of our followers and supporters and friends who wanted to chip in and help us to make this production to be better and better. Till next time, today has been Wednesday Magazzetini. Tunasema shukran sana na Mungu aweze kuwa nanyi popote pale mlipo. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Acha tukatike sasa tuende tupate chakula cha mchana, au sio? Adios and God bless you all.
And it's Hash Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Hash Wednesday. Hakuna kukula nyama.